Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to talk today about work-life balance. If you have taken my Your Best Self Abundance courses, if you have had sessions with me, if you are in my Facebook group, A True Balance, then more than likely you are a very, very busy person. That's who I attract in my tribe. And that is who tends to come into my inner circle. And so I've had some questions from some of my clients, some of my Your Best Self participants about work-life balance. So I wanted to answer that question today because my YouTube world may have that same question as well. So a lot of people ask me, how do you do it? How do you balance it all out? Well, first of all, I didn't. That's how I ended up with adrenal fatigue. That's how I ended up with so many hormone conditions and was obese and did not have my life together, was severely depressed and anxious because I had no balance. I was in a job that was on call 24/7, and there was really not a lot of off time. When there was off time, I was on call. And so, praise God, I'm not in that life anymore. So part of that process of learning to heal was learning how to nourish my adrenals. You may or may not have adrenal fatigue, but the likely is that if you're super busy, if your plate is extremely full, then your adrenals are probably a little tired. So we want to nourish them. We want to nourish our body, mind, and spirit. When we nourish our bodies, minds, and spirits, we are able to fulfill the calling that God has on our lives. We are able to achieve those goals, that mission, that vision in life in a very healthy, balanced way. There is no such thing as a perfect balance, but we want to be as true and as authentic as possible so that we remain healthy. So some tips for doing that is whether you have a career, whether or not you have a career and you have a side business or side hustle. You may have a career, side hustle, spouse, and kids, or whatever. So wherever you are, take some time and start tracking how you spend your 24 hours. Just take a calendar or take a piece of paper, and as you're going throughout your day, track it. Track it for at least a day or two. If you want to track it for a whole week, that's even better. But track your time and be very, very honest about how you're spending your time. And I want you to look at that 24 hours. And then I want you to take that tracking of the time, and I want you to look at it. And I want you to decide the ways that you spend your time. Did those action steps, did those appointments, did that, whatever it was you did that take you towards the direction of the vision, the very big vision that you have for your life, the big goals that you have for your life? Did it take you in that direction? Or did you find any moments of time where you saw that really kind of steered you away from that vision, from that path that you want in life, those goals, those dreams? So thinking about that. So looking at it that way. And then also begin to look at, there may be some things in our time, in our days, that don't lead us toward that vision, but there may be things that we just don't have any control over. We have to do, whether or not it makes us healthy, whether or not it builds our businesses, whether or not it produces great relationships. There are some things that are just you have to do throughout your day. So there are some of those. But also look at, were there opportunities or moments throughout your day where you said yes to someone, yes to a commitment, yes to a volunteer opportunity, yes to maybe a client or a work situation that you knew was overextending your day, that was just a little bit too much? You should have said no. What I found when I first started saying no in my late 20s, I was really horrible at it. Really horrible. I said yes to everyone. Everything that someone wanted me to do at church, every volunteer opportunity, yes, yes, yes. Everything at work, yes, 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 times 100. Community, neighbors, you needed something, yes, yes, yes. To the point that I was chronically sick and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I still struggled with saying no. And I remember someone telling me, you can say no and you don't have to give a 5-minute explanation as to why. Like, you're allowed to say no. And that really took some time and some practice to be able to say no. But when we think about it, God didn't call us to do everything. In fact, in the Bible, he talks a lot about rest. There is a reason that he wants us to go out and build the kingdom, and then he wants us to rest, because he knows we need to rest in order to be good, to be 100% for building the kingdom. You cannot fulfill the vision that God has on your life if you're completely burnt out, if you're completely sick, if you're completely drained. You just can't do it. So you've got to be able to fulfill your vision, but you've got to have that time of rest as well. And so looking, where can you say no? You are not the everything to everybody. God's not calling you to that. So there may be an opportunity to pray, to spend some time just in prayer and reading the word and asking God and listening to, and asking, what does he want for you? How does he want you to spend your time? What does he want you to say yes to? And what does he want you to say no to? That is big. When we give our days, our times over to him and let him direct it, it takes the pressure off of our shoulders. We just follow and lead because we know that he has a good plan and he's not going to burn us out. He never called you to live a life of burnout. If you're burned out, then you've said yes to things, you've put things on your plate that he did not call you to do. Now, there may be seasons where you're just on the brink, and maybe he's called you to a season that you don't have a lot of flexible time. You don't have a lot of flexible options to say no. And I will tell you, if he has called you to that season, it's not forever. And he is going to give you the grace. He's going to give you the wisdom. He's going to give you the stamina to get through what he has called you to do. But it's very, very, very important to only do what he has called you to do, whether it be in marriage, family, relationships, business, careers, whatever it is. So there is some opportunities just to look at your schedule and see what is God ordained, what is necessary to get me. Where are the moments where I just wasted an hour? I found for me, it was watching TV. I don't watch TV anymore. It's just a personal opinion. It's a personal thing because I have opportunities right now that are more important to me to do in the day or evening time to get me farther along in that vision. And watching Netflix, watching TV is not going to get me there. I do have some hobbies and I have some interests, but for me right now, that's just not it. And that doesn't mean that's for you. But I did find when I stopped binge watching Hallmark, I was able to fulfill the destiny that God has for me. I was able to make some physical action steps, to do some things that I wasn't able to do and I wasn't doing while I was binge watching Hallmark. So that was something that I found that could be corrected. So thinking about that, so taking a good clear picture about where you are, how you're spending your time, saying no to the things that you are not called to do. Maybe you find that you're freeing up your time in some areas that you can use those chunks of time to either do personal development, to either work on your business, work on your relationships, work on your finances, whatever it is that you're working on. but you may find there are opportunities throughout the day when you've taken off those unnecessary behaviors or action steps that you can use, whether it be planning your business, whether it be implementing some tools, implementing some things that you can do, because now you've got more free time. So that is the beginning of having a balanced work-life. And I will continue to share more tips, but hopefully that helps you get a great start. And thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a good one.